Wow, this room is yellow. Hi there, Sarah Wakehamp here of Parents Who. I am taking you along the journey of redoing my dining room and also of redefining parenthood and motherhood. I should note, let me show you the dining room since the last video, which was yesterday. Today's Wednesday, Monday, okay, look, just check this out. No progress has been made in this room, except for the addition of Kleenex. Why, you ask? Because life, because the Kleenex are for all the sicknesses that we have been having. I'm not upset about the kids getting sick. Actually, Chris and I got sick as well. Things happen. Kids get sick, adults get sick, dishwashers break, car batteries die. I always like to say it's not if, it's when. It's not if something happens, it's when something happens. But what I tend to see when I look at home decor before and afters or social media or glossy magazines, I see a lot of this. This is a before of a room, into this, which is gorgeous, by the way. And they have 1, 2, 3, 4, I think that's a kid, 5. I think they have 7 kids. Now, nothing against them. I love them and I love their book and I love everything about it. But what I wish you could see is a page in the middle here where it explains what you do when everybody gets sick, especially when you own your own business like they do and you're redoing houses. How do you balance? How do you have time to do the house and to do sickness? That's what I hope to shed some light on here today. Since the last video, when we swapped the tables, literally nothing has been done in that room. There has been 3 children that have been sick and 2 adults that have been sick. And the hardest thing to do for me is to start a new project like this and then everyone gets sick. All plans are derailed and now we have to do this other thing. Past Sarah would get really frustrated about this and feel like the universe was against me and why even try doing anything. I've since stopped doing that. One thing that has helped me is saying to myself, it's not if, it's when. Knowing that the kids are gonna get sick helps so much because it lowers my expectations. I know it's gonna happen. I'm prepared for it to happen. I do the self-care I hate the word self-care, so ignore that I just said that. I do what I need to do for myself on the front end so that in the middle, when all the crazy is happening, I can be calm and know that I will get back to this. I will get back to the dining room. Let's talk about the dining room. Rest. Okay, that's a lot of books. Before I start any room, I always start with inspiration. These are some of the home design books that I use as inspiration. I have edited this list greatly. I used to have a lot more. Let's see if I can get that out, Yoshi. Sun's in my face. It's so sunny up here in the morning. Is that better? Got the camera. I move the chair over. Rearrange this workspace. So you can see the empty space up here in my bookshelf where I just took some of these books down that I'm going to share with you that I use for inspiration when I am starting a room. Book, I don't have the physical version of it, but I have the journal of it called Steal Like an Artist. When I am starting a room or a space, I look to steal. When I was a teacher, I look to steal. There's no sense in reinventing the wheel, especially when you're starting. If you're beginner in learning how to decorate a room, I highly recommend flipping through as many resources as you can. Maybe put a time limit on it, maybe like an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, and see what you like. Now, if you are an intermediate at doing rooms, you probably have an idea of what you like. You've probably done a room even 2 or 3, and you kind of know your style, but maybe you want some fresh ideas. Set the timer at an hour. Go through and look at some of these resources I'm gonna share, pick some ideas and go. If you are an expert or you're advanced and you have already done several rooms and several houses and you know what you like, even less. I mean, go with your gut. Just do something totally new and out of the box and see what you like and have fun with it. I would call myself somewhere between intermediate and advanced. I have been doing rooms since I was 6 years old, moving my furniture around, would drive my mom crazy. And as I got older, I decorated my room, you know, as an adolescent and as a teenager, and definitely my college dorm. I'm having my mom look for pictures of all of this right now as we speak, so hopefully I can put them in a video. And then when I moved into my first apartment, even when we lived in Turkey, I had such an urge to decorate our apartment there. I made Chris go into town and figure out how to say paint, how to find the colors in Turkish, and to find the correct paint for the wall. I called the super, and I had them replace our sofa and our bed. I bought new bed sheets. I took the cabinets off of the walls, I should show you our new living room. Rearranged the furniture to bring my desk out here into the living room so that I have my space and Chris has his space. This is how our new living room looks, and the eating area is still the same. I did everything I could legally do to make that apartment feel like a home. When we got back home to the States, I decorated our next apartment there. It's something I love doing, and it comes very naturally to me, but I have grown in this process. I used to decorate my room with a TCU throw blanket, and now I've moved on to faux fur blankets that are only mine and the children know they are not allowed to touch. So some of my favorite books, and you don't have to write these all down, you don't have to pay that close of attention if you're doing the dishes or your kids are screaming, or you can actually just pause this and look at the resources later down in the bottom. This book, The Perfectly Imperfect Home by Deborah Needleman, and I love it because it's and obviously the perfectly imperfect home. No home is perfect. What I like about this book is it's practical. It's got things, you know, like bins and baskets, like ways to hold toilet paper that maybe you haven't thought of. This is for, I think, a little bit more intermediate and advanced. But you probably don't want to start with this book right here. Domino, the Book of Decorating. This one has very simple ideas. I'll read you the chapters. Let's see, we've got Getting Started, the entryway, the living room, the dining room, the kitchen, the bedroom, the bathroom, the office, the kids' room, the decorator's handbook, the big black book, a guide to the best decorating resources. This is a great one. It tells you like how to mix and match things. It tells you decorating tricks. If you are a beginner in this, I highly recommend this. And it may even be at your library. I've gone to the library before and looked at these books before buying them. And I've even taken photos with my phone and then saved them in my Evernote note under a folder called Inspiration. And so you can totally do that. Or you can also go to Barnes & Noble or anywhere where magazines are sold, and you can flip through the magazines. There's a Domino magazine, and you can take pictures there as well. And make sure you take a picture of the resource, or even a picture of the front of the magazine so that you remember later where you saw it when you want to go back and find that thing. I've made that mistake before, and it's really frustrating. Domino has a second one that came out, I don't know when, but I mean, it doesn't really matter, but 2016. This one's got Own Your Style, seating, walls, art, flooring, shelves and vignettes, lighting, soft stuff, plants and flowers, entertaining. This one, I would say, again, is for a little bit more advanced when you kind of have an idea of how to put stuff together. This can give you some fresh takes on getting inspired, finding your aesthetic, seating setups. If you want to start moving your furniture around once you have the basic pieces in place. Different ways of doing art, different ways of doing flooring. Again, this is stuff that might be a little bit more advanced. These are some of my favorite people. This is Don and Sherry Petersick. I think that's how you say the last name. Lovable, Livable Home. I also have their other book, Young House Love. They have a blog by the same name, which I highly recommend reading. They have lots of practical resources and also some life resources just on how to save money and how to do birthday parties or any kind of. Follow them on Instagram. I follow their blog. They also have a podcast. I don't get to listen to their podcast as much as I would like to, but the ones I've listened to I've really loved. So I steal from them all the time. I've stolen from them. I think they've been around for almost 10 years now. So constantly I'm stealing ideas from them and watching them and seeing what works for them and what doesn't. This book is just fun. This is definitely more advanced. This is called Sage Living. It was for Christmas last year. Let the life you want. This is a lot more advanced. Connecting, entertaining, nourishing, creating, disconnecting, growing, celebrating. So this is once you kind of have basics in place and you've played around enough to know what colors you like and what kind of style you like and what kind of style you don't like. It's a go to the extremes. This is how to start doing stuff that's a little bit crazier. You know, some different art, like how you can add some different pieces to create these different, like Nourish with History, how to incorporate, you know, historical items into your house. So save that for a little bit. Nate Berkus, always a favorite. I won't go into him, but Google Nate Berkus and you'll find all of his stuff. Apartment therapy, also a fantastic one. Doesn't matter if you have an apartment or not, you can use it for your house. Website of the same name, love them, great for inspiration. Setting up your home, which is great. It's got all things about floors, lighting, windows. Part 2 is living in your home, and part 3 is maintaining your home. Love this book. It kind of helps you to start kind of training your eye into, you know, different patterns, different ways that your room can be laid out, getting the right flow. It teaches you about colors. This is a great one if you are a beginner in this, or you just want to kind of look at it and see if you are interested in even going further. I don't know how it wasn't more obvious to me that this is what I would want to do with my time. Look at how many of these books I have. This has been going on forever. Design sponge at home. Totally overwhelming you with all of these, but I love Grace Bonney. She's fantastic. This one 2011, DIY projects, DIY basics, and flower workshops in before and after. This is a little bit more for if you want to DIY the different pieces in your home, if you want to do, you know, tablecloths or napkins or taxidermy. This has some taxidermy in it. This would be more for advanced expert level, I would say, unless you really love to DIY things, and then this is a good one. This doesn't end here. Like, this is insane. A creative family home. I love this one. I saw this one in a home store year before last, and I asked my little sister Emily to get it for me immediately for Christmas. It's called Creative Family Home. Love the ideas in this one especially because it's for the family. I wish there was more ideas out there for homes with young kids, because I look at these homes photographed in magazines and I just think, there's no way that your kid has not knocked that planter over, or that you know, the credenzas that are mirrored, they have to have fingerprints on them like all the time, right? I don't understand. So this one, I haven't seen very many ideas in this book that I didn't cringe and think, there's no way that a kid lives in that room. Very livable and very sustainable, very affordable, very fun. These pictures down here in the kitchen. That's how my kitchen looks. I feel like there's a lot of permission in this book. A lot of permission to say, hey, this is our life right now. We have young kids. It's gonna look like this. There's gonna be, you know, a mess of things on the wall over here. And I really like that about this book. I think there's a lot of good ideas. I think it's really fun. I think it keeps things really simple and really classic. Again, look at this bedroom. I don't see much in this bedroom that I think, ooh, my kid wouldn't keep that there. They would knock that right over and break it. By Novogratz, I've already mentioned this one. This is again for, I would say, intermediate to advanced. They have some really fun ideas, but they are expensive. A lot of their rugs, a lot of their art, a lot of their suggestions, like this one, it's very specialized art. It's very specialized carpet. It's a very specialized chair. I've priced that chair before. It's like $1,000. So it's a lot. It's something you'd want to dive into when you have already done a room or two, or even a house or two. They get very brave with their colors. I mean, if you are somebody who likes to just jump into things and try things, go for it. Wow, this room is yellow. Emily Henderson, Styled. This one is for smaller spaces in your room, like how you want to, you know, put this table together. This is very nuanced. I mean, it's beautiful, but it's more, you know, your tabletops and your bookshelves. And once you have all the big furniture and you've picked the colors and you've got all that. So it says, name your style, insider speak, transform your space, living rooms, entryways, kitchens, bedrooms. It's kind of just more about a catch-all, you know, how to make a space in your home where you can catch all your things and you're not have keys and money and stuff sitting everywhere. I'd say it's still good for beginner to intermediate, but it's gonna be more the finer details. So this is a great book to look through to get style ideas, but you will definitely not get to the little nuanced parts of this until you get closer to the end of the room. Okay, my battery lies flashing. Wait, new battery. I feel like I'm talking really fast. Am I talking really fast? Last one for today. This is Design Mom. I love Design Mom. Love, love, love. Again, website by the same name, highly recommend. She has, from 2015, entryway, living room, kitchen, kids' bedroom, family room, laundry room. It goes room by room. I think she has 5 kids. Nope, 6. I love the blog. I love that it speaks to older children. If you have older children, teenagers, adolescents. And actually, I think her website, intersection of of motherhood and home design or something like that, and I totally jive with that idea. I love it, and I use a lot of her ideas. She has a great Friday roundup of things to read on the web, which I love. That's it right now for resources by hand. Also mentioned that as I've gone through this process, and the reason that my walls are still white is I have undergone a hugely transformative process in the last 3 years of finding myself and maintaining myself as a person in the midst of motherhood. Finding yourself in the midst of motherhood can be very, very challenging. It was very, very challenging for me. I absolutely lost myself for many reasons that I will get into as these videos continue. But just to scratch the surface, I didn't give myself permission to do any of this, to be the person that I really am. I didn't even know who I was. If somebody told me to go be alone for a while, I'd sit in the Target parking lot and not have any idea what to do or what I liked. So I felt a lot of pressure, and I think there were a lot of messages about what I was supposed to do, how I was supposed to do it, when I was supposed to do it, and I just got very confused. I felt it's a lot of stuff. I'm gonna talk about that in another video, but needless to say, I think this stack goes equally along with the self-help stack of stuff that I have. I have all kinds of books. Some of them are right here. I won't get into them all right now, but hold on. I have all kinds of self-help books. And so I feel like these two things have gone together, and it's the reason why the wall is still white and the room is still bare. Okay. I don't know how long this video is getting to be, but I am going to now either stop this video here or you're going to see some online resources that I like.